Hello, welcome to Campus Papers. Today we are solving IGCSE Chemistry 0620, Paper 4, Variant 1, 2026. This is part 1, covering questions 1 to 4. Let's begin. Question 1. A list of symbol equations and word equations A to J is shown. So we have a list here. Each equation may be used once, more than once, or not at all. Give the letter A to J for the equation that represents A reaction that occurs in blast furnace. To look at these equations from A to J, the answer to this question will be G, which is the composition of calcium carbonate into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is used in the blast furnace for the extraction of iron, where calcium carbonate is added so that silicon dioxide will react with calcium oxide to form calcium silicate, which is also known as slag. So the answer therefore is G. Next question. A reaction catalyzed by vanadium 5 oxide. A reaction that is catalyzed by vanadium 5 oxide is contact process, which is sulfur dioxide plus oxygen to give us sulfur trioxide. And from the options that we have there, that will be option I. So therefore, the answer to this question is I. Next, cracking. Cracking is the breaking down of long chain hydrocarbon into an alkene and alkane. Now, from the option here, the equation that suits that description is equation H. Therefore, the answer is H. Next, photosynthesis. Very simple. Photosynthesis, the equation for photosynthesis is equation E. Carbon dioxide plus water to give glucose and oxygen. So therefore, the answer is E. Next, a reaction that occurs in the Haber process. Haber process is used in the manufacture of ammonia. So the equation for that is going to be equation F, which is nitrogen plus hydrogen to give us ammonia. So therefore, the answer is F. Next, a displacement reaction. A displacement reaction takes place when a more reactive metal or a more reactive halogen displaces less reactive halogen. And the equation that suits that in these options is equation B. Potassium bromide plus chlorine. Chlorine is more reactive than bromine, so it will displace bromine to form potassium chloride and bromine. So therefore, the answer is B. Next, a reaction catalyzed by yeast. One of the methods of producing ethanol is through fermentation. That is the fermentation of glucose in the presence of yeast to produce ethanol and carbon dioxide. So from this option, D is the equation that is correct. Therefore, the answer is D. Question 2. This question is about element. Identify element that 1 is used in the manufacture of overhead electrical cable because of its low density. The answer is aluminium. Aluminium is used in the manufacture of overhead electrical cable because it has a low density. 2 is in group 7 and period 4 of the periodic table. So this, we're going to use a periodic table to answer this question. This is group 7. We are looking at period 4. Period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. So therefore, the answer is bromine. It is in group 7, period 4. So we'll put bromine as the answer. Contains atoms with exactly 23 protons. So this also, we use a periodic table. Remember that the atomic number is the same thing as number of protons. So what we're going to look at is which atom is number 23. This is the atom, which is vanadium. Therefore, the answer is vanadium. Next, kills microbes in the domestic water supply. The correct answer is chlorine. Chlorine is added to water in order to kill microbes. So we put domestic supply of water, all chlorine is added to kill microbes. Next is approximately 78% of clean dry air. The correct answer is nitrogen. Next, has an acidic oxide which forms slag in the blast furnace. The correct answer is silicon, and the acidic oxide is silicon dioxide. Next question. Isotopes are different atoms of the same element. Explain in terms of protons and neutrons the similarity and difference between isotopes of the same element. Take note, the question specifically asks that we should explain in terms of proton and neutron. So that means in your explanation, you are supposed to differentiate them or show their similarity using protons and neutrons only, not mass number and atomic number. Please take note of that. So therefore, the answer is going to be isotopes are atoms of the same element with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. This is the correct definition. Don't use the definition they have the same atomic number but different mass number. Even though that is correct, but here we are specifically asked to use the terms protons and neutrons. Next question. A sample of magnesium contains 3 isotopes. Table 2.1 shows the percentage abundances and relative masses of the 3 isotopes of magnesium in this sample. So we have percentage abundance 80, 10, 10, relative mass 24, 25, 26. Question says we should calculate the relative atomic mass of magnesium to 1 decimal place. In order to do that, we multiply the percentage abundance with the relative mass and you will divide everything by 100. So let's do that. So this is going to be 80 multiplied by 24 plus 10 multiplied by 25 plus 10 multiplied by 26 divided by 100. When you punch the calculator, the answer is going to be 24.3. Don't forget, they are asked to leave our answer 1 decimal place. Next question. This question is about structure and bonding. Magnesium fluoride is an ionic compound. In figure 3.1, complete the dot and cross diagram to show the bonding in magnesium fluoride. The inner shells of electrons are shown. Show the charge on each ion. Take note of all the instructions. Start with fluoride ion. Check the atomic number of fluorine. Atomic number of fluorine is 9. So that means the electronic configuration is going to be 2,7, which means that for fluorine to be stable, it will need 1 electron to gain 1 electron. So therefore, this is going to be the electronic structure of fluoride ion after it has gained electron to become 2,8. Now notice that I use dot for the 7 electrons of fluorine and then cross for the 1 electron that fluorine gains. So this is how it's supposed to be. And since chlorine gains 1 electron, the charge is going to be negative, or if you like, put 1 minus. Either way, it is accepted. Next is magnesium. On the periodic table, magnesium has relative atomic mass of 12. So therefore, the electronic configuration is 2,8,2. That means for magnesium to be stable, it needs to give out 2 electrons. So when it gives out 2 electrons, it's going to become 2,8. So therefore, this next shell will contain 8 electrons. Notice that I use all crosses because magnesium do not gain any electron, but rather it gives out electron. So we maintain the cross. And since magnesium loses 2 electrons, charge will become 2 plus. And the reason why it's 2 positive after losing electron is because it has 2 more protons than electron. And you know the charge of proton is positive. That is why it is 2 plus. Now for this fluorine, we are going to repeat the same thing with this because they are both fluoride ion, fluoride ion. So you copy what is here and just paste it here. That is all. So this is the complete dot and cross diagram of magnesium chloride. Next question. Explain why magnesium fluoride has a high melting point. The answer is it has high melting point due to the strong forces of attraction between the positive and the negative ions. Next question. Explain why magnesium fluoride conducts electricity when it is molten. The answer is the ions are mobile. Or if you want, you can say the ions are free to move. Either one is accepted. Next question. Fluorine consists of simple molecule. In figure 3.2, complete the dot and cross diagram of a molecule of fluorine. Show outer shell electrons only. So we are expected to complete the dot and cross diagram of this. So we check the periodic table. The atomic number of fluorine is 9. So that means the electronic configuration is going to be 2,7. That means it needs 1 electron to complete their shell, each of them. Now remember, the number of electrons that an atom needs to complete the shell, that's the number of electrons it's going to share. So which means that this fluorine is going to bring 1 electron and the second fluorine will also bring 1 electron. All right. So remember, we are dealing with the outer shell only. So if this fluorine contributed 1 electron to be shared, we'll be left with 6 because it has 7 electrons at the outer shell. If you want to be shared, 6 will be remaining. So we need to write all the 6. So sometimes students do make mistake and leave the answer like this. It's wrong. You need to complete the shell. So for this, 6 more electrons, and other the second fluorine also 6 more electrons. So this is the complete dot and cross diagram of the molecule of fluorine. Don't forget it's dot and cross. Next question. The melting point and boiling point of fluorine are shown in table 3.1. Melting point minus 220 degrees Celsius, boiling point minus 118 degrees Celsius. Reduce the physical state of fluorine at minus 240 degrees Celsius. Use the data in table 3.1 to explain your answer. Now let's look at the table. The melting point is minus 220 degrees Celsius, and we are told to reduce the physical state of fluorine at minus 240 degrees Celsius. Now don't forget that in negative number, minus 220 degrees Celsius is greater than minus 240 degrees Celsius. So which means that at minus 240 degrees Celsius, fluorine has not yet reached the melting point. And since it has not yet reached the melting point, it suggests that it is solid. Why? Because it is only solid that melts. If it is a liquid already, it should boil, not melt. So the fact that it has not reached the melting point, that means at that temperature, the physical state of fluorine will be solid because it has not yet started melting. So therefore, the answer is solid. And then explanation, just give the explanation. So let's write it down. Because minus 240 is lower than the melting point, or you can say the melting point is above minus 240 degrees Celsius. Next question. Aqueous hydrogen peroxide decomposes to produce water and oxygen. Manganese 4 oxide is a catalyst in this reaction. A student adds powdered manganese 4 oxide to aqueous hydrogen peroxide in a conical flask as shown in figure 4.1. The volume in the gas syringe is measured at regular time intervals. The volume increases as time increases. Write a symbol equation for the composition of aqueous hydrogen peroxide. Include state symbols. So from the equation already, I thought that hydrogen peroxide is H2O2 will decompose to give us water and oxygen. So let's write that first before we balance the equation. This is hydrogen peroxide. To decompose, so have our arrow to water and oxygen. So we balance the equation. Here we have 2 hydrogen, here we have 2 hydrogen. Oxygen is 2 here, and then oxygen is 3 here. So we need to balance the equation. Balance the equation by adding 2 here, also 2 here. With this we have 4 hydrogen, 4 hydrogen, 4 oxygen, and 4 oxygen. But then that is not all. We are asked to write the state symbols. Now, how do we arrive at the state symbol? From the equation, look at it here. The composition of aqueous hydrogen peroxide, which means that hydrogen peroxide is aqueous. So we'll add AQ as subscript. And next, water. Of course, water is liquid. So we add L. And then lastly, oxygen. And of course, oxygen is a gas. So this is the symbol equation for the decomposition of aqueous hydrogen peroxide, including the state symbols. Next question. State what is meant by the term catalyst. A catalyst is a substance that increases the rate of reaction and remain unchanged at the end of the reaction. It's important that you add that last part, the 2 mark question, and remain unchanged at the end of the reaction. Very important. Next question. The rate of reaction is highest at the start of the reaction. The rate of reaction decreases as time increases. The reaction eventually stops. Explain why the rate of reaction is highest at the start of the reaction. The answer is because the concentration of hydrogen peroxide is highest at the start. So the rate of the reaction will also be highest at the start of the reaction. Because the more the concentration, the faster the rate of the reaction. Explain why the reaction stops. The reaction stalls because the hydrogen peroxide is used up, or if you like, you can say all the hydrogen peroxide has reacted or decomposed. That is why the reaction stops. Next question. The experiment is repeated at lower temperature. Explain why the temperature of reaction is lower at lower temperature. The answer is this is because kinetic energy of particles is lower, the temperature is lower, particles lose kinetic energy, and because of that, the frequency of collision between the particles will also be lower, and then therefore fewer particles will have energy greater than or equal to the activation energy. So take note of that. 3 points. The 3-mark question. We must talk about the kinetic energy being lower, the frequency of the collision also lower, and then finally, the particles does not produce enough energy that is greater than or equal to activation energy. This brings us to the end of part 1, covering question 1 to 4. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. I will see you in part 2, covering question 5 to 7.